Dear students, I have come with a new module, Introduction to Time Series. So this is very important because we always calculate the trend using time series analysis. And we are using this for every research, business, economic policies, government policies, everything. So this is the importance of this chapter, and I am going to explain the introduction part about the time series in this module. Now, why time series is required? This is used for predictions. How much should be the advertisement budget for 2025? How much should be the production for 2025? Or any year, if you want to do any prediction, you should have the previous data. Then only you can make the predictions for future years. Then information about past is gathered and recorded at successive intervals of time. Sometimes we collect the data for 5 years. Sometimes we collect yearly, sometimes hourly, sometimes for 10 years. Like that we collect the data. So that data is gathered at successive intervals of time. See, for example, census data is collected every 10 years in our country. Stock market movements, every hour, every second, every minute it's recorded. So every bank deposits, every day it's recorded. So like that, time series, it's based on different time period, that is yearly, monthly, or 5 years, 10 years, minutes, seconds, however you want, you can collect the data. So that set of observation is called the time series. That meaning any data when you are gathering over a period of time, it is called time series. So when we observe numerical data at different points of time, that set of observation is known as time series. So that is what I explained: production, the population figures, death figures, sale of four-wheelers in the country or two-wheelers in the country, sale of luxury cars in the country. All this can be recorded based on time series. So this is the most important element. That is time series. We are using this for everyday activities. Every moment we are using this. And the time, you have to remember that it can be year, it can be month, it can be week, it can be day, hour, minutes or seconds. However you want to collect the information, you can collect it. Now, uses of time series. First one is to understand the past behavior. How customers will behave before COVID or after COVID. How they will behave in a particular situation, that we can understand. That is the first thing. Going to the restaurants, that is how the customers will be open to going to restaurant after the COVID situation. So that is, we can understand the past behavior, the present behavior and the past behavior. It's very important. So based on that, we can come to the second point, to predict the future behavior. If you know the past behavior, we know that this is how it is going to be the future behavior. So we can relate certain things. We can get an idea about that. Third one is for planning future operations. How many automobiles to be manufactured? What should be the availability of COVID medicine in the country? Who all are coming for injection? What should be the age limit? All this based on the time series data we collect. The government is taking the decision, or companies are taking the decision. The fourth point is to compare actual performance with the expected performance. See, everyone, see that if it's a university or an educational institution or a hospital, everyone will have an expected performance. So expected performance will be there, and the end of the year they will compare that with the actual performance. So whether it's increasing or whether it's declining. So that will be needed for their business operations. Then for comparison, educational institutions in the country, so they will compare that, how they performed, each one, hospitals in the country, how they performed. So this is used for comparison. Last point is for drawing appropriate conclusions based on comparison. See, wherever we have made the mistakes, wherever we have plus points, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, everything we analyze on the basis of time series. Now, components of time series. I am giving a data, the year 2013 to 2020, and sales of a firm A. In 1000 units it's given. 2013 it's 40. 14 it's 42, 15 is 47, 16 is 41, 17 is 43, 18 is 48 and 19 is 65, 2020 is 42. So in general, if you see that 2013, the first year when we started, it was 40, 2020 it's 42. But in between so many changes are there. See, up to 2015 it was showing an increasing trend, because 40, 42, 47. But now after that you can see that 2016 it's declined, 41. 2017 they're showing a slight increase, 43. 2018 it has become 48. 2019 good increase, that is 62. But 2020 again it dipped to, or it's reduced to 42. So what are the reasons for that? that we can analyze with the help of time series. So 4 points are important. You have to remember that secular trend is there. Seasonal variation is there, cyclical variation is there, irregular variation is there. Secular trend meaning it's the general tendency of the data that to behave in a particular situation. Or see, for example, death rate in the country is declining. That is one thing. Sale of automobiles, it's increasing. Luxury cars, it's increasing. It's showing secular trend. People are traveling more. This is a secular trend. That's in general, people are behaving like this. That is the secular trend. Second one is seasonal variation. It's based on the seasonal variation is the climatic conditions. See, in winter we will buy more sweater or more woolen clothes we will buy. Whereas in summer we will prefer to buy more cotton clothes. And in winter we prefer hot drinks, whereas in summer we prefer cold drinks. So these are seasonal variations. So the data will change according to seasonal variations also. Now cyclical variation meaning depression and boom in the economy. See, now after COVID, this economy is opening up and its situation is improving. So during lockdown, it's a depression time. So economic activities were not there. Now it is improving. So the depression will have an impact and a boom condition will have an impact. That is the cyclical variation. So that will impact the data or the time series data. Then irregular variation is there. That is, we cannot predict anything. Natural calamities will be there. COVID is the best example. Nobody has expected, but we have experienced it. So it can be natural calamities or anything like that. Irregular variation also will affect the components of time series. So secular trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation and irregular variations will have an impact on the change in the data over a period of time. That is known as components of time series. Now 4 methods are there for measuring trend. That is, one is freehand or graphic method. Second one is semi-average method. Third one is moving average method. And the last one is method of least squares. Method of least squares is the popular method and usually use method of least squares for computation. So this is what I want to explain in this module. Thank you.